Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Kati and today we are going to flip through this Kinbor Weekly and make a little bit of a comparison to the Hobonichi Weeks. And at the end I will show my pen test that I did. And I did the pen test actually in this Kinbor Weekly and in Hobonichi Weeks with the Tomoe River Sanzen and the Hobonichi Weeks with the older Tomoe River Paper. So 3 different papers in my test. But let's start to flip through this Kinbor. So this is the weekly. It says here, keep imaginative and be on the road. So I don't know if that's where Kinbor comes from. They come like Hobonichi every year with different kind of designs, and I don't know if this design is still available, but I'm interested to looking inside. So this coloring is now for this cover, so I think these bookmark colors and these change the color of which design you have. What it says here, everything grows fiercely, we appreciate gently. Okay, and I'm just now going to flip through this to see what this has and maybe get an idea how I would like to use this. And I was thinking to compare it to the 24, so let's see here. And I'm only comparing these layouts that are common. First, the yearly view. So this is now for 25, so the main year is here. This was for 24, so the main year is here. So that's on the different side of the... They both have the previous and coming year, and then both have some holidays. And as you can probably already see, the paper color is different. So this is cream and this is pretty white. And let's see, okay, we have this kind of layout, and the weeks doesn't have anything like that. They just have this year at a glance view. But this has 4 months on one spread. So this is the same. I can't read these weekdays, but of course this has a lot of more space here. And also for the months. But you can't get, which I have been liking in this, and you can see this is a spring start. So what I did enjoy about this is that you get a whole year view if you want to track something. So here you can only see 4 months at a time, and this doesn't even go with quarters, so if you would do quarterly planning. So this is just 4 months on a spread. Then we go to the monthlies, pretty much the same information, and now here I have chosen the same month, so January 25. So what's different? This weekly has this previous and coming month small calendars here. January is pretty big here, so that's clear what month it is about. Both have the weekdays here, red on Sundays, grey on Saturdays. To my eyes, this grid is more clear, so these are like, it kind of fades here in the background in my eyes, so it's not so clear to see where the days are. So then this has the monthly views, of course. Okay, so it changes, of course, where they put these. They are at the end because they don't fit here. This doesn't have any extra months, so I think it has just the 12 months that are in the year. I don't know, for me that looks like it's like bad print quality, because it's not, I don't know, it just looks I don't know. I don't know what I think about this. Of course, this is nice if you don't like these strong lines, so they are not so, I don't know. So, okay, 12 months. I think Hobonichi always has a few extra months. This doesn't have any extra months. Then we go to, okay, we have a few like this. Plan of a new year. I think this is nice. Hobonichi doesn't have anything like this. So you have the months and empty space. You could put here like a vision board and goals, whatever. So I do like this spread. Then we go to the weeks, and this doesn't have any extra weeks, so it starts from the week where is the first day. And Hobonichi always has extra weeks at the beginning. So this is what the weekly is, or has like clearly different, is that they don't have the quote here, so they have more space for each day. It's like, I would say, one row more each day, but I don't like the quotes, so for me that's a good thing that the quote isn't there and I have more space for each weekday. Okay, Kinbor doesn't have the moon cycle here, and of course, because this is for Japan, it's not valid information for Finland. Usually it can be that the new moon and full moon are on different days because of the time difference. So I haven't been using the moon cycle from the weeks, so that doesn't bother me that the weekly doesn't have it. Same small calendar here and pretty much the same layout here. This has 6 grids and this has 5 before this line here. I haven't thought about the grid size. This looks a lot similar. This doesn't say January here. No. Okay, so this doesn't say the month. It just says it with a number, but no month name here. And here they have a small quote. So they have to put it somewhere. But here it's like not taking space. But of course, if you would like to put here some titles or something, so then it's taking the space up here. I don't know why they have to put these quotes here. It's my calendar. I don't need your quotes. And this is more clearly these colors here. So, okay. Yeah, I didn't realize that this has quotes also on every page. Okay, so then we have the weeks here, and then we go to note pages. Okay, it doesn't have any like starting page like Hobonichi has. Have I written here something? No. So Hobonichi has this where you could put an index or something. But let's look at the note pages. So they both have page numbers and a grid. Weekly doesn't have these lines here. It's just a full page grid. And this has 82 pages and this had 73. So this has a bit more, but also in the Hobonichi Weeks, the page amount differs a bit from year to year. And of course you can get the mega if you want a lot of these note pages. Let's look at the back. So 82. Then we have a schedule for the week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. A gift list. 21 days plan. Okay, I don't know for what, but okay. Favorites. They don't even say how many. 24 on one page. 24, so that makes it... Oh, look. Yeah, so this is 48. So I guess that this is 52. Yes, so this is 52, so you can fit 100. But why aren't they saying it here? Okay, so 100 favorites. Eye exercises. This is fun. I like this. You have the paper sizes here. Then I don't know what. Clothing and shoe sizes. Then a map. I have done here a previous pen test. And some food recommendations. Solar terms. Personal information, and I think the social media sites. And then there is a pocket here in the back. So that's the Kinbor. I can put here on the screen if I find the information, so how much I have paid for each one of these. But I would say this is like at least half the price, or even maybe a third of the price from the Hobonichi Weeks. But let's look at the pen test now. This is the older Tomoe River Paper. Then this is already the new Tomoe River Sanzen, because the Hobonichi Weeks got it in the spring 24. That was the first time that they had the Sanzen paper in the weeks, and then the weekly. So what was this called? Ba Chuan? I don't know. First, I will say that I was like, the more I did this pen test, the more I realized the difference in the paper. Like here on the old Tomoe River paper, the pen it's like sliding on the paper, and I was surprised. But the more I did this, I realized that I enjoy the writing experience more in these than in the old Tomoe River paper, because these have more tooth. So you feel better how the pen glides on the page, and from here to here it also gets more noisy. It's not noisy, but you can hear the writing, because it's not just gliding on the page, but it has a grip. As far as the paper quality, I didn't find a lot of difference. I found just the writing experience to be different, and I did enjoy it here more, so that's a good thing, because this is what we have still, this is what we don't have anymore. So in that way, I have to say that I like the new Tomoe River paper more than the old one. I didn't find a lot of pens that would bleed through, which is, I think, one of the biggest problems that you could have using a planner or notebook. So in the end, I remembered, oh, I have a Sharpie, so I was sure that I would get that to bleed through, because none of these others. Well, this is the Pentel Energel, which I have always found a bit problematic, so it did bleed through a bit. Then this is a Stabilo, so one of these, so that did bleed through a bit. Here is the Pentel Energel that I used, which I wouldn't use here. But otherwise, well, this highlighter did bleed through, but they bleed through like everywhere. They are so wet. I have this Faber-Castell set. So they are here at the end bleeding through, but I wouldn't say that's bad. So now I see the reason why I stopped liking the Hobonichi Weeks, because the pen that did bleed through is the one that I'm using, and it didn't bleed through here, but it's bleeding through here in the new Tomoe River paper. So that's a clear reason why I stopped liking the Hobonichi Weeks. But for me, the weekly is not a solution in that way, because they bleed also through here. So this is the Thick Clean Color Dot pen. I just love this pen, and I think there probably is some options on the market, but I have these and I have enjoyed using them. That's not like so much, and if here the dot didn't bleed through, and here also the dot didn't bleed through. So it's not such a big problem because I usually use only the dots. And this was a clear difference here. This black version, so it didn't bleed through on the Tomoe River, but it did bleed through here on the Kinbor paper. My brush pens that I used are a bit like drying out, so these are very old, so they are not very wet. So I don't know how valid this test is. So if you have a bit newer brush pens, so they maybe bleed through, but I didn't find any brush pens that would bleed through. But as I said, these are on the dry side because these are all also old. The newest one is this pencil sign pen that I got from Hobonichi, and that didn't bleed through on any of these papers. And here are all the highlighters that I tested. I have a lot. I know I have a lot. So, but this was the only problem. But everything else that I tested, I didn't got anything to bleed through, and I was a bit like sad about it, kinda. Maybe the Kinbor paper did perform the weakest, but it's also clearly the cheapest, and there is also the color difference. So if you enjoy white paper, I have heard people say that if you are buying a planner or notebook from somewhere else and not Hobonichi, the Tomoe River Sanzen paper is a bit different. So that Hobonichi has something on the paper that's making it different from the other brands. But I also have, what is it called? A sterling ink notebook with Tomoe River paper, but I wasn't interested taking that in this test because, yeah. So in my eyes there is no clear winner. If we look at the back page, I would say that the old Tomoe River is the winner because it had the less bleed through. But if I just, and here you can see the smearing, so I just then closed these papers. So the drying time was the longest on this because it has something that the ink just floats on the paper, so it doesn't like sink in. So you get the most smearing in here, and I just find the writing experience more enjoyable in these others because the pen gets like a grip on the paper. And also here the pilot friction, for example, it wrote better on this newer paper because it gets a grip, so the ink floats out of the pen. I didn't make any drying time tests because that's, I feel like, is a problem of its own. So here you can see a difference. So the end of the highlighter, this is so much more brighter, more neon on this paper, these highlighters. So there is a clear orange at the end, but this isn't so neon. As I look closely, I can see the differences in the color. So the colors are more muted on this paper, although this is whiter. That's interesting. Yeah, look, there is a difference here. It's so much more muted on this. And this pen also performs differently here. but in the end it's about what you like. Do I get a black? What you like, what kind of pens you like to use, what kind of writing experience you like. This is interesting here. The grid like disappears behind this pen, but here the grid like, look, can you see that? The grid like, that's interesting. Like here the grid disappears behind the pen, but here it kind of like, what? How is this possible? The grid stays, I don't know, I hope you can see that. How could I show it to you? Can you see? The grid pops white on this paper. And it doesn't disappear behind the ink like on this paper. That's so interesting. So interesting. How can it like come? That's like magic. But how does it do that? It doesn't do it here. But with these pens, these are my brush pens. Why does the grid like, oh my, that's so interesting. It's so interesting how pens, inks are performing differently on different papers. Here also, here the grid disappears, of course, behind the ink, but here it shows through the ink. That's so. But the Sharpie covers everything. I'm a bit confused now. I'm trying to come up to an explanation why the grid pops with these pens. These are also Tomoes, these two. That's so interesting. But if I would like to do some lettering with brush pens, I don't think I would enjoy that the grid pops out in my writing. I would rather have the grid disappear behind the writing. That's so interesting. The Hobonichi paper does the same thing here with these pens. These are my Tickling Color Real Brush pens. So the Hobonichi paper does it too with these pens. I don't know. Huh. But it's so much more clearer with the here. Okay. I can't give you like this is the best and this, but it's so much what you enjoy. But the colors are different, the performance is different, the writing experience is different. I'm a bit mind blown about this now, so maybe I just need to stop looking at it and move on. I'm still thinking about for what I would like to use this. So I haven't decided on a use case. There are so many ideas for different kind of journals and planners, but for me it's like if I come up with an idea, the second question is, do I have time for it? So do I really have time to keep up like a theme journal for the whole year? Do I want to do it every day or every week? And if I decide that I don't have the time or motivation, so I don't even want to start. I haven't come up with an idea that I am like, yes, I want to do that. And I have, with the Hobonichi Weeks, I have bought them and used them in many different ways. And I have never used one till the end. And I can link the video where I talked about that, why I decided to stop buying the Hobonichi Weeks. But then I was so curious about this that I bought 2 of these. So I bought also this blue one, Live Well and Love Yourself. So this would be so good for mental health or health in general. Live well and love yourself. So I'm thinking I still have time. The year hasn't started, and like I said, these start on the first day, so no need to start earlier, so I still have time to think about these. I hope this video was helpful for at least the one person that was asking for a pen test. I don't know if I delivered what you wanted, but at least I learned something new about my weekly and how it compares to the Hobonichi Weeks. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day. I hope to see you down below in the comments and in my next video. Bye bye.